going on, Pisces? Welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazi, your favorite Cali reader. This is going to be your quick message from your ancestors, okay? So we're not speaking of all the ancestors, but your benevolent ancestors, meaning those that are on your team to support you, to help you, to guide you during your journey in this lifetime, okay? Not all of them are here to do that, all right? Believe it or not, that's what I personally believe. So we're talking to the ancestors that are actually here to help us, to benefit us, to support us in this journey, who want to see us do well, who want to help us and see us progress and break these generational cycles, right? So those are the ancestors that we are connected with today. So if that resonates with you, then stay tuned, all right? So I did already pre-shuffle your cards, lay them all out. You see that on the pre-shuffle, okay? I did that to kind of like save time, okay? So looking at the bottoms of your decks here, Pisces, it definitely feels like some of you are going, it's like you guys are having a new phase. We have rebirth, cage, justice, the page of pentacles. No, I'm sorry, the page of cups, with the 8 of swords. So it feels like some of you, something could be ending. It feels like some major changes are happening for you guys at this time. And I feel like it doesn't feel like it's by mistake. And I feel like for some of you, it may be definitely something that is tumultuous, something that has been maybe keeping some of you stuck or caged in for quite some time. Some of you have been maybe looking to free yourself, have been maybe feeling stuck in a situation, an environment, a job, a connection, something like that, where some of you have been really wanting freedom. Okay, you've been really wanting to free yourself, and it feels like some of you, whoever I'm connecting with today, it feels like some of you, those of you that resonate with that, it's like this is something that has been, it feels like a long time coming. Feels like it's something that has been kind of ongoing, and it just maybe hasn't been the right time. It just like, it seems like as soon as maybe an opportunity presents itself, there's a setback or a delay or a blockage of some sort, where it's like you get so close and then you get pulled back. You get so close, or you think a door is opening and then it seems like it closes. It feels like it's that type of energy. But I feel like some of you, the reason why this is coming through your ancestor messages is because they want you to know that it's not in vain. Like that it feels like the delays that some of you have been experiencing lately, it's not for naught, right? It all has a bigger and divine, more higher meaning than I feel like some of you are aware of. And especially when we're in our human nature and we're feeling, really feeling that energy, the heaviness of being set back and being pushed back and all that stuff. It's like, I feel like for some of you, it's been weighing on you for quite some time. And that's why it's coming through now, where it's like whatever has been, I feel like, keeping you guys stuck or caged, or where you felt like you had no way out. I feel like some of you are really needing to know that it's going to be really important for you to get out of your head at this time and really be as optimistic as possible. Okay, really allow yourself to be more curious about what's possible, what can be, what the potentials are, what is lining up for you that you may not be able to see right now. Okay, especially with this rebirth and justice energy, it's like whatever. I feel like some of you are needing to know that order is being restored, even if you can't see that yet. I feel like this is maybe something happening behind the scenes, something that you're not privy to at this time. But it's a part of a new life that some of you are coming into. I feel like some of you have maybe gone through a major transformation, and this is, that energy of kind of like, being kind of like coming on the other side of that. Even if you don't feel like that's happening yet, I feel like some of you need to understand that it does, or remind yourself that it does take kind of like time for things to adjust. So like the same ways, like say you have surgery, right? And it takes a little bit of time for your body to adjust to whatever change was made, whatever was removed, or whatever was fixed, right? This is kind of like that energy where you're being asked to give yourself grace at this time, to be patient with yourself during this time. Okay, so first card out, what your ancestors want you to focus on right now, we have cleansing. Okay, and I do have that clarified by the tarot. Let's just go through each row. So what your ancestors want you to focus on right now, Pisces, is cleansing, card number 6. Okay, so I feel like this is about really cleaning up your energy, cleaning up your whether it's your energetic aura, your foundation internally, or your foundation externally, however that translates for you. Even both, okay, because one affects the other, as within so without, right? So it's like whatever what you have, the vibration and frequency, whatever you have going on inside is always going to be reflected externally. So so for me personally, when I find that if I feel kind of like really confuzzled going on the inside, there's a lot going on and I can't really seem to kind of like come to a peaceful place, or really connect to my own inner peace, it sometimes really helps for me to start just straightening things up, just cleaning, even if it doesn't really need it, just that act, that motion of doing that, also does that for your aura, for your light body itself. Okay. So I feel like some of you are really being asked to focus on that at this time. So clarifying that is the 10 of Cups clarified by the Page of Pentacles. Okay. So I feel like for some of you, this is, may have to definitely do with your family, do with your, like I said, your home, right? And then we have the 10 of Cups here that represents family, home, foundation, your happiness, what makes you happy. I feel like some of you maybe haven't really been in a very, positive or happy place lately. And we all have those seasons, right? But it feels like some of you, there's a new opportunity here that's presenting itself. There's a new chance or, an opportunity to kind of start over, to, turn a new leaf, to have a new beginning in some type of way. Okay. It may require you to learn something new. Some of you may be going back to school or doing something that makes you happy. And for some of you, there's been maybe this energy of feeling like, I can't do that, or it's too late for me to start over. Whatever the negative limiting belief is that some of you, I feel like, are having, that's what you're being asked to cleanse at this time, to let go of, to, kind of shake off, whatever that energy is that's making you question yourself or making you doubt what is possible, or, whatever is kind of like steering you away from really focusing on what makes you happy, or giving yourself the opportunity to, explore like what does make me happy, like relearning yourself. Okay. Some of you are being asked to kind of like relearn, rediscover what really makes you happy. It's like some of us, especially when it comes to connections and being around other people so long and so often, it's like we sometimes, kind of can lose ourselves to those connections, and you don't realize it till, hindsight somewhere down the line, you're like, holy fuck, like I don't even know what I like anymore, because I'm always doing what they want, or I'm always going what they want to do, or whatever that is. Where some of you are being asked to really allow yourself to rediscover yourself at this time. Okay. Even if that means, doing things new, starting over, building a new routine, whatever that is, allow yourself to give yourself that space and that grace to do that. Okay. Also, let me really quick fast say that I was intending for these messages to be generally about 10 minutes. I really feel like that's not going to happen today, and that's fine. So for those that are watching your readings on TikTok, there will be a part 2. Okay. Or otherwise I might just, let you know that continued on YouTube, right? You might have to just go to my channel to watch the rest of it. But for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, it's just going to be a regular reading. Okay. So just so you know. All right. So what your ancestors would like you to embrace and embody at this time, we have forgiveness. Okay. So what this feels like, Pisces, is that some of you are really being asked to forgive yourself as well as others. Okay. And understand that. And I know a lot of people, even myself at one point, used to get so fucking sick and tired of people telling me to forgive other people. You do that when you're ready. Right. But just also, I'm just imploring you, kind of encouraging you, inviting you, I should say, to see how you're forgiving someone else is never for them. Okay. Just, I'm inviting you to the perspective, the alternative perspective, that forgiveness is never for the other person. Okay. It's for your growth. It's for your healing, for your evolution. Okay. And also understanding that everything that we experience with other people, these are things that our soul essentially signed up for at some point, whether you believe that or not, whether you agree, right? Because especially when it comes to things that are very difficult, very challenging and adverse, it's kind of hard to believe, like, I would really sign myself up for some shit like that. Like on a soul level, absolutely. Because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So there are higher purposes, higher, karmic debts and certain things that we, came into this, incarnate into this lifetime to take care of this lifetime. So I feel like for some of you, this is maybe allowing yourself to maybe even practice forgiveness, practice, the idea of forgiveness, especially for those of you you've had a hard time doing that, or kind of like wrapping your mind around the idea of forgiveness. Because a lot of people, what I've learned is, some of you, not you, individually, take it as it resonates. Please don't get offended if it's not your message. It's not your message. But even myself, like I used to, we used to have this idea or this notion, like, I'm not really sure if it's something that we've been conditioned to think, or just something we kind of adopted on our own, that when you forgive someone, that means that you have to give them another chance, or you have to keep them in your life and your experience. And that is not true. That is definitely not the case. So I'm just imploring you to see that forgiving someone is never for the other person, and nor does that mean that you have to keep them in your experience if it does not serve or benefit you. That's just something to keep in mind. Okay. So clarifying forgiveness is the Lovers, which is clarified by the King of Pentacles. Okay, so for some of you, this could definitely be someone that for those of you that are married, okay, or in a connection, that could be what this is talking about. Some of you, this is someone that you are in a long-term connection or commitment with, and you're being asked to forgive this person. Okay, really being asked to come back into maybe a harmonious place with this person. If for those of you that are single, this is about coming into that same place for yourself, with yourself. Okay, you can only give to others what you first give to you, right? So even if you are in a relationship or some type of marriage or long-term commitment, this is still about forgiving yourself. You know what I'm saying? Where if you find yourself like being upset with your partner, let's say you're a feminine watching this and you're upset with your masculine, right? This is, allowing yourself to identify, why am I mad at them? Allowing yourself to get clear about what makes you so upset with them right now, right? And then turning that question inwards. Where did I not support myself in that way to make me then project that anger or that resentment or whatever that is, that pain towards them? You know what I'm saying? So it's like for me, when I've realized that, like, when I don't trust certain people, it was because it's showing me where I didn't trust myself. They showed me red flags. They gave me signs, but I didn't want to see them. I ignored them, right? And then in turn, later on, I got hurt in some type of way. And so those opportunities, looking back after me doing the work and actually taking the time to be honest with myself, it helps me ask myself the hard questions, right? Where if I don't trust them, where am I not trusting myself? Or where am I still holding on to that experience of where I didn't trust myself to where I'm still projecting that onto them now, whether it's a new connection or, an old connection, like someone you've been dealing with, but you're still bringing things back from the past. That's, things from the past are coming forward. So it feels like some of you are being asked to forgive someone at this time. Okay. So it feels like whether this is someone that you're currently dealing with, or those of you that are, have broken up with someone and you're trying to kind of like cleanse your mind, body, and spirit of that experience to come into come into something new. However that translates, you're being asked to really embrace and embody this energy of forgiveness, and knowing that, for some of you dodged a bullet. Some of you are being asked to forgive someone because whatever way they messed up in your life, it was really saving you from something way maybe bigger, way more painful, and you may not be aware of that right now. Okay. So I feel like for some of you, you may not realize that, that hurt me, but it was ultimately setting me up, positioning me to be available for the person I'm really meant to be with, someone that I'm really meant to be with long term, someone who is actually, generous with their time, money, energy, their love, their support, their wealth. They can help me with my business because they're, business savvy. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just never know why certain things stop working or why certain things, just break apart. It's because it's preparing you for something better. So I feel like some of you are really being asked at this time to, embrace the newness that's trying to come through, whatever situation you guys are being asked to kind of cleanse your energy from. Okay. So whether this is family or someone you had a family with, this could be, like I said, an opportunity for you guys to come back together in a more beautiful and powerful way by allowing yourself to forgive whatever has already happened, whether this is a current connection, or for those of you that you're kind of like in this process of releasing an old connection, this is preparing you to step into a new, where you're not taking baggage from the old situations forward with you into a new one, right? So what your ancestors would like you guys to, how they would like you to respond and be aware of going forward. We have Blinders card, a Libra card 8 came in sideways. Okay. And then we have Map card 3, which is the Aries energy, and that came up upright. Okay. So what it feels like is they want you to, I feel like some of you have this energy, especially too with this 8 of Swords here at the bottom of this deck, which is it has the 4 swords underneath that. Some of you, there's this energy here that some of you are being asked to be aware of, which has to do with the victim mentality. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that from a place of downplaying, right, your experiences, or, making it feel like you're not, like, how you feel or what has happened wasn't valid. I'm not saying that at all. But what it is saying is that what has happened has happened, right? We have to at some point come to acceptance that this did take place. whether it was right or wrong, whether it felt good or not, whether I've, felt like it was fair or not, I'm acknowledging that this has happened, right? And I can choose from that point, how I respond going forward. Do I continue to, be in this role as if, I'm the one who got hurt and, all woe was me and all that? Or can I choose to see this how is this really helping me? How can this be helping me? Yes, it hurt. It was fucked up. It was wrong, whatever that might be, right? It was painful. There was no excuse, no reason, right? Or I can choose to focus more on, how's this really pushing me forward? How is this really opening up a new door of opportunity? How is this, I feel like some of you are really being asked to shift your perspective in a situation. Okay. There was another, I don't know what number I was thinking of. I saw a number earlier and it was like 92 and it gave me 11. And then we have 11 here with the 8 and the 3. So some of you, this situation is basically positioning you to walk into a new life. Okay. Some of you Pisces, your ancestors are preparing you to chart a new territory, to basically kind of like go a different direction. Okay. Some of you, this is like helping you. Some of you, this situation in itself is just basically maybe showing you how, how to better pay attention to when signs and synchronicities are coming up, when red flags are maybe presenting themselves, how to not ignore them, how to not just, brush them off as, oh, that's just, maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe I'm just overthinking, like, whatever. But if certain things keep coming up in different ways, at some point it's kind of like, they've said that to me. It's kind of like when somebody says something, right? And they want to make it like a joke. And it's like, they've said that shit before and I let it go the first time. And then they said it again. And I'm kind of like, and then they said it again. At some point, it's like, it's no longer a joke, right? For me personally, I strongly believe after, years of being bullied and shit like that for different reasons, it was kind of like, okay, there's always truth behind a joke. People only say or try to call it a joke when they see that you're offended. It's only a joke when someone gets offended. That's when it turns into a joke. I was just joking. I was just playing. Because they don't want that, the riff of you calling them out, you being able to call them out on, what they're trying to, slide in there. Right. So I feel like some of you are really being asked to block out any type of victim mentality, any type of, signs or things that are being shown to you. This is time to see it for what it is, and also see a situation or a connection, whatever this is, see it for what it's not. Okay. And not make up in our mind what we want it to be, to where we're just like, no, it needs to be this. And that's all I see. And that's what the fuck it is. And that's what it's going to be. At some point, that's when things break apart, especially when they're involving other people, right? We can try to be delusional about certain things and people as much as we want, right? Because we are the creators of our reality. I strongly believe that. But at some point too, though, you have to understand that other people have free will, right? So that means that they can maybe play along as a certain role or character in your life, right? But at some point, they have to do their own thing as well. And so if their role changes in your life, there has to come a point where we accept that and we see it for what it is, and we don't fall in love with the potential of what could have been, but we allow ourselves to be real and honest with, this is what's being presented to me, and now I get to decide, what do I do with that? And for me, I personally find power in that, because you're no longer playing yourself, as to what it should have been or what I wanted it to be. I'm seeing it for what it is. So now I don't have to continue to waste my time. I don't have to continue to pour into something and keep investing in something that isn't going the way I want, that I feel is in alignment for me, right? We can just, call it quits and be done. And then that way we can, kind of like wash our hands of the situation and move forward and start over, but from experience this time, right? So clarifying that energy is the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So for some of you, this is something or someone that you've been investing in for quite some time. Like I said, this is something that feels like has been ongoing for some time. And some of you, there's just a point now where I feel like your ancestors are kind of just telling you, like, it's at some point you got to forgive this and let it go. For some of you, this just may be something that happened in childhood, or happened as a child, or happened, from a past relationship that happened years ago that some of you are still holding on to, that is essentially blocking you from, having new experiences. Some of you have been asking for it, but not realizing how you're essentially sabotaging your own, the things that are trying to come to you, creating blockages in it from presenting itself, and then get upset with the universe as if you're not worthy, or like, this never happens. I never get what I want, things like that. It's like some of you are being asked to block that energy out because it's only keeping your manifestations further from you that could be already, aligning in your experience right now. Okay. So clarifying the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, as well as the Knight of Cups. I'm sorry, the Knight of Cups in reverse, as well as the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, as well as the Knight of Cups in reverse. So for some of you, you're being asked to just, this is a time to really make a plan. Okay, that's also what the Knight of Pentacles represents. Okay, so some of you, Pisces, are being asked to make a plan right now, to block out this victim mentality, anything that's distracting you or keeping you from really focusing on what you want going forward. This is a time for you to really, read the signs that are being presented to you, that your angels, your spirit guides, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, that you call upon, they're going to show you in different ways. They're going to bring signs and synchronicities and, symbology in many different ways, messages to you in many different forms. It's just up to you on if you pay attention to them and how you choose to decipher and determine what that means for you. Okay. But some of you are being asked to really create a plan right now, something for the long term. Okay. And, this is also about kind of like giving up. Some of you are in this energy of, giving up on what your heart really wants. Okay. Cause you don't see it, cause it's not happening. But some of you, there's, something that you're being asked to forgive. There's some type of energy that some of you are still holding on to that's needing to be cleansed, that's keeping something from coming in. And then you're allowing yourself to feel like, well, I must not be worthy, or this must not be for me, right? Because it hasn't came in yet. How long do I have to wait? There's other, things. It's kind of like, for example, let's say like you just moved, right, into a new place, and until your new couch comes, you brought your old couch with you, right? And you're kind of like, well, where's the fuck is my new couch? I want a new couch. And you've been getting signs. Well, maybe you're like, you've been intuitively getting nudges, like, well, or maybe friends have been telling you like, well, how do you expect to put a new couch in here if you don't want to get rid of the old one? Well, I don't want to get rid of the old one because I don't have a new one. So maybe that's for some of you, your universe is telling you, well, how about you just get rid of the old one and just make room for the new one as if it's already here. And next thing you know, you have, it's coming in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, okay, this is even a better one. Same analogy, but a little bit better, right? Say, for example, you just moved, right? And you brought your old couch with you because, you want somewhere to sit until the new one comes, right? So let's say you got on Amazon or, some other type of website, and let's say you ordered your new couch, right? And so let's say, it's going to be delivered tomorrow. So instead of you, deciding, okay, I know my couch is coming tomorrow, so let me make a plan and figure out how I'm going to get this old one out. So when the new one comes, it'll be clean. I could, make time to clean and make space for it, right? But it feels like some of you instead are in this mentality of, but what if the couch doesn't come tomorrow? What if it comes late? What if it doesn't come at all? What if they don't deliver it? So I need to keep my old couch here just in case, because what if it doesn't come? You know what I'm saying? And do you see how that could like stagnate that process where it's like, that don't even make no sense. So what if you are expecting to come? What if it does come? And then what are you going to do? Put two couches and you don't have room for two couches? You see what I'm saying? And so the universe is kind of like looking like you have a new couch that's literally coming tomorrow, but you're so worried and overthinking, maybe based on a past experience, that my new couch isn't going to actually come. So I need to hold on to this old one instead of just trusting the process and trusting it will be delivered and make room for this new couch. I'm going to instead hold on to it and keep it here, knowing that in the event that they actually do bring my new couch, it's going to create more issues for me because I still have this old couch to get rid of. I still have to clean that space to make room for the new couch and then actually put the new couch in. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, that's what I'm getting here. So it really feels like some of you are really being asked to make room. Okay. Make room for the new things that have been, ways that you've been wronged in your life, Pisces. It's getting better. You just have to make room for that. Okay. So advice from your ancestors is we have Yang in reverse. So this is a masculine energy. So some of you are kind of like ready to take action. You're ready to maybe just go and kind of like get going and get out of a situation or move on, move forward. And some of you are kind of like being asked to slow down. And that's also what I'm getting here with this Knight of Pentacles energy, because this is the slowest moving knight in the deck. He takes his time. He has a plan, and he takes his time before he makes a move, so that way he knows that when he gets to his destination, it was well thought out, and he's taking his time and taking step by step, because he knows that it's, you know, it's a process. There's no rush, right? It's a marathon, not a sprint. So some of you are really being asked to slow down. Some of you are trying to maybe rush through something, trying to hurry up and do something. And with this TikTok card at the bottom, okay, some of you are trying to rush a process and you're being asked to remember right now that time is not an issue. Okay, some of you are trying to rush something, trying to maybe hurry a situation on, and I feel like you're not being asked to do that right now. Okay, you're really being asked to take your time. Okay, to not move too hastily, to not be so impulsive with maybe your decisions at this time. Okay, you have more time, I feel like, on your hands than you think. Okay, remember, time is a man-made construct. It is fluid. It is not linear. So everything is all happening at the same time. It's just a matter of you aligning to the reality, to that parallel reality that you want. Okay, there is a higher power at play. Okay, card 4 with the happy underneath that. All right, so it's like you have, experiences here that are coming, that are aligning with you, but it's just a matter of you, again, making room for it, making room for what you're asking for. Okay, so I hope this reading was helpful, Pisces. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, subscribe, share, follow, all that good stuff. And until next time, you guys, howdy.